Hi everyone, welcome to our first Q&A segment. Today I have Darren Grant with us, our Sales and Marketing Manager, to answer your questions. So our first question today is, are we still the Australian agent for Technogrid?
Yes, we've been involved with Technogrid for over 10 years now. We recently agreed to represent Technogrid again in Australia. For those who are not sure what a Technogrid is, it's an energy absorption system that fully engineered can utilise to absorb, catch a falling weight such as a counterweight, also moving objects like a runaway mining vehicle in a controlled manner. It's an engineered solution that can pull an object up in a calculated distance, but we can also calculate G-forces that if there is human life involved in the falling object or travelling mass, we can pull it up in a safe manner. But if you go to our website and check out the link to our blog, there's some examples of Technogrid uses.
Great. So our second question today is, what is the correct way to crack test fork attachments?
It's a fairly tricky question. There's a lot of fork attachments, but I guess fork tines are usually what's used to put a fork attachment on, so I thought I'd focus on fork tines. So in Australian Standard 1171, in Section 3, methods of test, it talks about preparing the surfaces for testing, which means dirt, scale, grease, paint, all those types of things you really need to remove to get a proper accurate test. So we recommend blasting the area or the whole tine. Then the most important area to check is under the top retaining hooks. That, from experience, usually that's where you'll find a crack underneath. So again, you'd have to remove it from the carriage, remove it from surface to test them properly. Obviously the heel area is an important area to focus on, and typically you'll get stress fractures in the heel that can only be very minimal and will dress out. And then the blade obviously is another area to check, but also the bottom retaining hooks, typically you'll get from the heat affected zone of the weld there, you'll get a crack propagate from that weld, and I've seen fork tines snap in half from that weld. So that's another area of importance to focus on. But I'd also suggest that it's not just about crack testing in fork tines. So with testing fork tines, you really should check them for wear, especially the heel area, the angle, the hook mounts for wear. So there's a lot of factors that come into how a fork tine performs, not just crack testing. So it's really a whole group of processes you should follow.
For our last question, we were asked, I have a 1.4 diameter rope sheave that I require fabricating. Is this something that you can do?
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually dealt with some pretty big sheaves over the years, up to 3.6 metres, so a lot of them have to do with head frames in mine shafts, but we've also gone down to little sheave wells as well. But typically what I find in my 23 years in the industry, that a deflection sheave hasn't really been flagged as a critical spare, and I know, if a deflection sheave was knocked out of service through cracks or whatever, typically it'd take me 6 to 8 weeks to manufacture a new one. So that could mean loss of millions of dollars over that 6 to 8 weeks process. So I always try to suggest to our customers that they should consider deflection sheaves or any sheaves as a critical spare, and it'd be worthwhile having a spare on site for that reason. It's not an easy or a quick solution to manufacture one, so but certainly can do it. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you everyone who sent in your questions. Due to the large amount of questions that we received for our Q&A segment, we have decided to continue this segment. So keep those questions coming in. You can also go to our website and use our live chat forum, where we will happily answer your questions immediately. So thank you for listening, and I hope that we have been of some service to our listeners.